This is one of a continuing series of Bob Croft's metal models that have been occasionally on display in the crafts rooms. These models, produced by Fascinations Incorporated, located in Seattle, start at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch thin sheets of stainless steel which are laser cut and etched into many pieces that are joined by tabs and slots. No glue is used. Each model is remarkably scaled to the real structure, be it a large building, a bridge, or a small musical instrument. Today we are going to talk about aircraft models. There are 15 Metal Earth aircraft models. In this segment, we will view and talk about 3 aircrafts which span a time of over 100 years, from the Wright brothers in 1903, the Spirit of St. Louis, 1927, and the U.S. fighter, the F22 Raptor, in 2005.
Fly me to the moon.
Prior to their first successful power-driven flight in December 1903, the Wright brothers flew many times using a glider. On December 17, 1903, after a failed attempt by Wilbur, Orville made the first successful powered flight that lasted 12 seconds, reaching a height of 20 feet for a distance of 120 feet. They made 3 flights that day. The longest one lasted 59 seconds for a distance of 853 feet. After their last flight, and while the plane was on the ground, a gust of wind rolled the plane over and it was severely damaged. The Spirit of St. Louis was built by the Ryan Airplane Corporation of San Diego specifically for Lindbergh's flight over the Atlantic. It was built in about 2 months at a cost of $6,000 less the cost of the engine. Lindbergh was involved in the design of the plane. It had no windshield to look forward, but did have a forward-looking periscope and 2 side windows. Getting the plane out of the building was a problem because its wingspan was larger than the door opening. Lindbergh's incentive for his flight was generated by a $25,000 prize offered by Raymond Ortega, a French hotel owner, for the first one who crossed the Atlantic by plane from Paris to New York or New York to Paris. 10 days prior to Lindbergh's flight, a French pilot left Paris via plane to capture the prize, but was never seen again. Lindbergh took off from Roosevelt Field on May 20, 1927, narrowly missing some telephone wires by about 20 feet. During his flight, he flew at varying altitudes from 200 feet to 10 feet. He landed at Le Bourget Field in France at 10:22 p.m. His flight was 33 hours, 30 minutes, and 30 seconds. Lindbergh was delivering air mail when he decided to challenge the Atlantic flight crossing. The Spirit of St. Louis did not fly back to the U.S. Instead, it was disassembled in Paris, packed in crates, and returned to the U.S. aboard the USS Memphis. Upon arrival, it was reassembled, and Lindbergh continued to fly it around this country. The Raptor F-22 fighter was built by Lockheed Martin. It is a 2-engine stealth fighter many say is the best fighter ever built. The F-22 was first flown in 1997 and was put into service in 2005. There were 195 F-22s before production was stopped in 2012. Titanium was used for much of its outer surface to withstand the frictional heat while traveling at over Mach 2, 1,400 miles per hour. The production of the F-22 was discontinued because of its high cost and was replaced by the newer and less costly F-35. This model had some delicate parts and had to be put together very carefully. This concludes your visit to Bob Croft's first series based on Metal Earth models distributed by Fascinations Incorporated of Seattle, Washington. In this presentation, we have tried to mix new technology with a bit of little-known historical information. Additional series will be forthcoming as they become available.